Marvel Rivals is a game that asks the player a simple question. What if Blizzard made a good game? Well, this game isn't made by Blizzard, so it's going to be better in probably every single way. During the exciting journey of my broke white ass, we play as several different characters from the Marvel Universe, none of which include my dad. And in doing so, we destroy several cities with a plethora of weapons, ranging from Wolverine's claws, fucking ice, and the attacks of a raccoon that wants to replicate what your girlfriend will never give you. This is a game that, much like games like Among Us, Lethal Company, or Buckshot Roulette, this went viral over the last month or two since its official release last month. And being someone who tries to catch onto the trends and ultimately fails to do so, now felt like a good time as any to hop onto Steam and try it out. Is it any good? The footage of which will probably tell you. All you need to know is that, as expected with me in FPS games, I suck dick, but not the character. This is Marvel Rivals. Developed and published by the greatest company of them all, fucking NetEase, Marvel's Rivals is a team-based PvP shooter, in which a 6v6 round of players will go at it to either capture a central point, escort a piece of cargo, or simply kill each other till the clock hits 0. And normally I try to make my videos longer, but this one's gonna be short and sweet. So I really hope you weren't expecting a 15-minute episode covering this game, cause that ain't gonna happen, chief. So let's just jump straight into the gameplay of Rivals, which is going to be pretty damn simple because there ain't much to it. Marvel Rivals is one of those games that does something that most games don't do. They make a gameplay and/or feature set that is extremely simple, and yet somehow it turns into a good game. The main gist of Rivals gameplay stems from its characters. With a total of 33 different heroes to choose from, each one has their own unique attacks and special abilities that make them stand out from the rest of their foes. I am unfortunately not going to show all of them here, but I will show you the ones that I checked out. First up is Rocket Raccoon, you know, the one that probably called Chris Pratt a bitch several times during several movies. And he makes it his goal to shoot you with his big ass minigun and show you that you fucked around with the wrong animal. He has a dash ability that can push you forward or out of the way from incoming fire, and a BRB, allowing you to gain extra health and later get a double jump. Rocket can also act as a healer by swapping his gun to repair mode, or go full bombard mode and kill everybody. Every hero can also team up with other characters to gain special bonuses like extra damage or healing, but they can also get special abilities that are based on who they team with. As an example, teaming with Groot and Jeff can allow Rocket to ride on Groot's shoulders, giving him 35% reduced damage. Rocket can also buff the Punisher and the Winter Soldier by throwing down an ammo overload, giving them infinite magazines and faster firing rates. I then tried Penny Parker, a tank class that you'll probably tend to find throughout most of your matches. Penny has abilities that generally boost her movement speed and healer, like her Cyberweb Cluster and Snare. Or what about an Arachnomine, which could be hidden inside the cyberwebs, that way no one will know it's even there. Penny only has one team-up ability, that being with Venom and Spider-Man. In doing this, Venom basically makes out with Penny in such a way that they activate their symbiotic abilities, and shoot out explosive spikes that do AoE damage and fling their enemies backwards. The character I played the most, however, was Luna Snow. Now, this might be because I like hot chicks, and she definitely passes this test, but I also like how simple her toolset is and what she can bring to the team. Light and Dark Ice acts as a damage hitter and a heal, depending on who you hit it with. And Absolute Zero acts as a stun, freezing your target in place for 3 seconds and healing you in the process. Ice Arts allows her to have a harder hitting version of Light and Dark Ice. Fate of Both Worlds is that giant dance show that you're seeing right now. It allows allies within that circle to either deal more damage or receive increased healing, depending on what dance Luna is doing. Once you run fast enough, Luna can also skate and gain increased speed and jump higher than other heroes, making her great for traversing the playing field. In addition to all of the heroes and their playstyles, the maps themselves have their own gameplay quirks too. In total, there are 3 different game modes that you'll encounter, that being Convoy, Domination, and Convergence. Each one is slightly different from the rest, and help determine how you're going to play the match. Convoy is basically the equivalent of an escort mission, in which you'll have to escort something, usually some kind of cargo, to your base, whilst fighting off against the enemy team. Domination is much more grounded, in that you're just fighting over a specific point on the map, and whoever gets to 100% control of that point wins. Convergence is basically the RNG version of the previous 2 game modes, in that it basically just picks which one it's ever feeling for today and then tells you to cope. Meaning that yes, you could in theory go 7 rounds on Convergence games and have to escort a damn shipment of coal to Santa's workshop every single time. But otherwise, that pretty much covers the majority of the gameplay of this title. I honestly meant it, that yes, the gameplay is primarily in the heroes you pick, and the game mode that you end up playing. It's simple and easy, and that's not always a bad thing. I love when developers do things that are unconventional and take a different approach to a genre that is usually packed with loads of gameplay options. But NetEase actually did good with this one, and I quite like it. But of course, that gameplay is going to be judged by the maps you're playing on, so it's naturally a good time to touch on the world of Marvel Rivals, and I'ma just say it now. It's aight. Unfortunately, this is not like my Indiana Jones video where I can talk about stuff you can find and how the world feels alive, so I'm just going to talk about each map individually and work off that. There were only 2 maps that I didn't check out, that being Yggdrasil Path and Burn in T'Challa, whatever that is, but the rest I'll be showing off. And besides, one of those sounds like a cocktail of sorts, and the other just sounds like a zone from World of Warcraft. So let's kick things off with Royal Palace! Now is probably a good time to mention that these maps are designed with certain game modes tied to them, meaning that you will always be playing one game mode on this map, and in the case of the Royal Palace, that game mode is Domination. You'll also be going through 2 or 3 different sections of a level when playing a Domination map. So we're going to start here with the Bifrost Garden, which doesn't exactly look like it has any frost anywhere on it, so I'm wondering why it's called this. I really like how the map can just destroy itself at random, proving that it's made of sticks and that it's ass. Odin's Archive, no not that Odin, puts in the question of what if there was a giant pillar inside a room and everyone decided to congregate there like it's some kind of meeting full of Sabrina Carpenter fangirls. There's also a super cool treasure room, complete with a moving globe that is just kinda there. It's a cool area, but I don't really like that it's in Odin's house. He's gonna get Helia to come and slap my ass cheeks if I fuck this up. Shin Shibuya! Being our first Convergence map, Tokyo sure hasn't looked better, yet it's 2099, so hopefully all the single guys in the city figured out what it means to bang and got their birth rate issues under control. Even so, Shibuya looks pretty dope, but one of the things that I came to dislike about it is actually its size. I found that the roads are the most open parts of this map, and even then, they don't really feel super open, akin to how the Royal Palace felt. The interiors of buildings feel really small, and it does make gunfights feel both stressful and intense, and while this is good, it also provokes a feeling of not wanting to go through them at all, making the other team gain the advantage if you're not careful. Still, it's a pretty cool level that is smack dab in the middle of Tokyo, but it's definitely not my favorite, and neither is this next one. Spider Islands! Welcome to what I'm just going to describe as Hell. Not to be confused with a level that is literally called Hell's Haven, but this shit is the damn convoy map. Hope you like watching this damn spider-mobile go 5 miles an hour through the totally legit streets and later a damn house for several minutes, because this shit literally broke me. If Shin Shibuya felt small, then this shit feels smaller than Joe Biden's dick. It's a good looking map, and its design is actually pretty good because it makes for some great camping and jump spots, but when you're on the receiving end of all of that, it fucking hurts. I like the idea that they went for here, but for me, this ain't it, chief. Hall of Dahlia! Ah, yes. It's fucking Wakanda time, bitches. Although I'm starting to ask myself, when did black people go interstellar? I mean, I never saw them actually go up there, so... Regardless, this level doesn't actually give off the impression the lights got turned out, because it's actually a really bright and sunny level with the sunset as its backdrop. Really like the part where I realized that, oh shit, this shit is a Convergence map. It's still a cool map though, filled with some open areas that make for some great combat. I also got swallowed by a shark during my time here, so that's the one time I'm gonna get to immerse myself in the feeling of suckage. But a lot of chaos can happen very quickly, akin to a Walmart on a Black Friday, so better get those cheeks ready, because this map's gonna test if they can jiggle, which is most likely going to be a no. Symbiotic Surface! Welcome to a planet that is basically just a living god that wants to explode and kill everything. So just the yandere girl. Got it. Also, it's yet another escort mission. Hooray! Oh, how I love these maps. Why is this type of map the main one? It also doesn't help that this shit is a black ball of jizz that we got forced to go through more tight corridors and walkways slower than he's ever jacked it into his girlfriend. And this shit looks like a fucking Resident Evil style outbreak hit it. Really like the outside of the building where it's like, hey, I hope you like dead bones and just corpses mixed with mushrooms. You can imagine that this part smelled so fucking bad that I genuinely think that dead bussy smells better. So I don't really like this level because this is just a nightmare of bad smells. Hell's Haven! I'm not exactly sure why both Hell and Haven are in one place at the same time, but I guess there really isn't any gods alive anymore nowadays, so they can come and mingle if they want. Just don't put your hands on each other and we're good. Being a simple point capture map, this one is pretty simple. It's got its open spaces, but they're still tight enough to cause some issues. I actually quite like this map, and I think that's because its color palette is something that I quite like. And this map is great for any ranged heroes looking to stick it to their enemies. It's also because this is what my brain lives on 90% of the time. I'm alone and depressed a lot, okay? Shut the fuck up. This is also where I got a 15 KO kill streak, so fight me, let's go. Altogether, that about covers everything that I wanted to touch on from Marvel Rivals. Notice how I'm not including a good and bad segment, and that's simply because I don't really have anything to say that's bad about this title. From the bits that I played, I had a blast, and I found everything here to be really fun and engaging. And as someone who has at least tried Overwatch at least once, is it safe to say that this is better than one of Blizzard's dead children? The answer is, yeah. Yeah, it is. So, give this game a shot. It's out now on Steam and consoles as a free-to-play option, if you're wanting to get away from the Fortnite you've been having. Anyways, my name is PandaPowerSauce, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh god. Man, here we come. Maybe not PP son.
But it's fun. But it's funny.
It is, but it's also bannable because it sounds like.
Yes.